Good morning, classmates. Good morning, ma'am. Our topic, together with Ma'am Mary Grace Balase, is all about learner's analysis. At the end of this topic, you will able to define learner analysis, classify the factors of learner analysis, and describe the importance of learner analysis. Too many assumptions are made about learners. Instructional designers, e-learning developers, and course creators often assume that they already know how learners learn, what motivates them to learn, and what their attitudes are toward learning. It's important to remember that learners are not empty boxes into which knowledge can simply be poured. Everyone has experiences through which they understand the world differently, and in turn, which they will understand or evaluate instruction. What is learning? Learning is a process that involves a change in knowledge. Learning is not something that is done to learners, but instead something that learners do themselves. So the first step in designing effective learning experiences in an online learning environment is to analyze your learners. So mao jud na atong first step nga pagabuhaton to analyze our learners. So this is called learner analysis. So learner analysis referred to as a target audience analysis. Learner analysis is a process of identifying who your audience is, their demographics, their prior knowledge, physiological, and affective and social needs. It is essential to understand the aspects of learning analysis, the aspects such as the knowledge they bringing to the topic, learning characteristics, previous experiences with the topic, and the attitudes they may have towards the topic. Why we need to analyze our learners. Instructional designers often believe that they know the learners they are developing training for well enough to design effective instruction. In a traditional, face-to-face course, this may sometimes be the case, but for instructional designers attempting to apply more learner-centered techniques and develop innovative learning environments that utilize a variety of resources, it is often necessary to gather data about our learners' needs and interests, as well as a key contextual factors. A learner analysis is important to help shape and guide instruction, as well as to determine how instruction should be designed. So this knowledge allows us to tailor our instructional design and delivery approaches to better meet the needs of our learners. So when designing learning environments, there needs to be a um, we needs to be a bird eye view of the entire process from who the learner is, the background of the learner, and the goal of the training. So the better you understand the needs of the learners, the easier it is to create, engaging and motivating learning experiences. So by considering how different they learn, instructional designers can ensure they develop training materials and courses that address the various needs of multiple learners. So overall, um, we use the information garnered during the learning analysis to make instructional design decisions such as those regarding levels of scaffolding support needed, level of technical support needed, and the delivery method. What to include in your analysis? The aspects that should be included in the learner analysis includes the entry behaviors. So entry behaviors are specific skills and knowledge that the learners must possess prior to instruction to accomplish the specified goal. Ang entry behavior usually ni siya ma-implement ni teacher or nato sa beginning sa klase or sa lesson period. So mao ni siya nga time nga mag-set ta og questions nga mangutana ta sa mga bata to gather information about their past experiences of the students that can make content sa ato ang new lesson. So another nga i-consider nato in entry behavior is the level of the students to be taught. So when this is considered, it is easy or it will determine the kind of questions nga atong ipangutana. So according sa ilahang capacities of the students. So example of entry behavior na pwede nato gamiton is kanang given that the students can identify objects, mga things, or people, or places, and animals, kana sila. So by their names, the students should be able to give a definition or have an idea of what the term noun. So for example, simply means ana. So an acceptable performance will be to spot the different objects in an environment and mention their names respectively. So after this is done, so kita nga teacher can comfortably say that the student have an idea of what the term means and can move on to give a more concrete definition of the term. So another aspect is the prior knowledge of the topic. So this category includes knowledge that the learners already possess on which they can continue to build new skills. So this is important so that instruction can build and relate to prior knowledge. Time spent instructing learners needs to be based on learning new material as opposed to learning an area with which they are already familiar. So mas maayo man ang kanang naanay prior knowledge ang bata no kay kung naana siya prior knowledge, mas eager siya nga makakaton pa. So just like for example kanang ang bata is kabalo na siya he want to know how to write number from 1 to 10. Unya kay di pa man siya kamao mo write og numbers, pero na siya prior knowledge nga kamao na siya mosulat sa iyang names from left to right. So sa kana nga prior knowledge makabalo na ang bata unsaon pag write sa number. So ingana siya no kung naay prior knowledge ang bata mas maayo. So another aspect is the attitude and motivational factors. the learner's attitudes towards the content are super important. So, importante jud nga mahibaw-an nato ang attitude sa atong mga bata no kay lahi man aslag mga attitude. So, instructional designers need to address the learner's feelings about the subject matter and skills to be learned. So, included in this area should be the learner's perceived levels of arcs. So, sanang arcs? So, ilahang attention, relevance, confidence, and satisfaction towards the content information to be covered by the course. So, sa attention, so dapat kita kabalota mo paayon-ayon sa atong mga bata kay lahi man sa mga attitudes, may mga banhaan, may mga sipat, may mga hilumon. So kana nga mga behavior sa bata dapat ato jud na siyang ato nang siyang tagaan nato og bili, no? Tagaan nato sila bili nga ato nang makuha ilang mga kiliti. Sa relevance, dapat ma-meet nato ang personal needs or goals sa atong mga bata or sa atong mga learners para to affect the positive attitude. Then sa confidence, dapat atong tabangan atong mga learners na dapat mo believe or ma-feel nila na they will succeed and control their success. And satisfaction. So, dapat natin mga kitawag na kanang reinforcement or reinforcing the accomplishment with rewards. So, dapat mahatag taog mga rewards kana kay muna'y ganahan sa mga bata. So, mapa-internal or external nga rewards. So, the last aspect is the educational and ability level. So, information for this area can be gathered through interviews and observations, records, and test data. So, questions that designers want to answer may include information about the capability of learners to master the material that will be presented. So, that's why, beginning pa lang sa atong klase, so sa before ta as atong lesson proper, no? So maghatag ta og kanang ginatawag nga test nga diagnostic test. O para sa asom ng diagnostic test para sa man para atong makita ang makuha nato ang strength or weaknesses sa mga bata. So mao na siya, no? So that's all of my topic. So Ma'am Mary Grace Balasi, siya ang mo continue. Thank you so much and God bless.